Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director, I understand that ATF has not released its fiscal year 2021 firearms compliance inspection statistics. We have all of 2019, we have all of 2020, we have 2022, and we actually even have up to March of 2023, but ATF has not released 2021. My question is, why has it not been released, and when will it be released?
We are committed to transparency. I'm learning about this. If that hasn't happened, that needs to happen. I don't know. I will check on it.
Would you please provide it to this committee?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. In the first page of your testimony here, you say one of the main priorities of the ATF is processing the timely registration and transfer of firearms under the National Firearms Act. What is your definition of timely?
It's not what it is now. We need to get those processing and wait times down lower.
I get that.
And so as quickly as possible, right? I mean,
what is your goal? I mean, if you don't have a goal to work toward, then, I mean, when I look at processing times, I looked 20 years ago, and the processing times haven't changed. I mean, I'm looking at, forms that literally were approved this month, and it's 7 to 9 months for an NFA form to be approved on a Form 4. I look at a Form 3, and it's 5 days.
In defense of not of the Times, but of our agency, we process a greater volume of forms than we ever have before. I
get that.
800,000 over the last year. The application numbers are also going up, so we have to match that, right? That's not an excuse, it's an explanation.
Okay.
And I will get back, I don't know that I can sit here and commit to a particular time limit on the spot here, but I can say that we will respond to you and set a goal.
Okay.
We will set a goal.
I mean, Judge Carter said it was years ago 100 days. I have seen it as low as 5 weeks, where Form 4s have come back in 5 weeks. When Washington, D.C., when the NFA was transferred to Martinsburg, West Virginia. All right, that was great, fantastic move. So I would appreciate that if you would get back to me with what your goal is and then your plan to get to that goal, because I think reprioritizing your funding, okay, to make sure that you work toward that goal would be very important to achieving that goal.
That is an important function of ATF. It is one of many priorities. Getting our tracing time down is crucially important as well.
Speaking of tracing, thank you for that segue. Rep. Clyde sent a letter last year, February the 3rd, and it took 14 months for the ATF to respond to that letter. 36 members of Congress signed it and requested it, and it had to do with tracing. So how much of ATF's budget goes to digitizing out-of-business records in a database?
I am not sure of the exact number. I can get back to you with that number. Obviously, we receive
how much?
We receive tens of millions of paper records at ATF.
Okay.
They come in waterlogged boxes sometimes. It's incredibly difficult task. These are also
is the digital database that is being created a searchable database?
We are, as far as I know, the only customer that pays additional money to have search function taken out of Adobe Acrobat.
So how is it searchable?
We do not search in the specific ways that Congress has said that we can't search, right? So by personal identifier, by the way, right? We search by, we run serial numbers.
Okay.
And I will say that that is a policy decision that Congress makes. That does make traces take longer in criminal cases.
According to this letter, the NTC is only authorized to trace a firearm for a law enforcement agency when the firearm is involved in a bona fide criminal investigation. That's according to the letter that we finally got, the response that came April 14th, 2023. Do you agree with that? Only a bona fide criminal investigation?
Our state and local, most traces come from your local police department, your sheriff's department, as requests to us. And we work with them, and we trust our state and local partners they submit things when they're subject to a criminal investigation that a state and local law enforcement, a sheriff, a police chief, a commander has.
Well, I think that's important because the letter also asked for NCIC codes, and there are 420 codes that were provided, and the number of traces per year from 2019, 2020, 2021. Because if a federal firearms licensee gets more than 25 traces, then they're responsible to participate in the Demand 2 program. And in looking at some of these traces, I mean, you've got 132,000 traces on a found firearm. You've got 27,566 traces related to health and safety. 2,000 related to drugs, health and safety, 89 to food, health and safety, cosmetics, health and safety, 13 related to abortion. I don't see the crime here with all these traces.
You said those are the NCIC. The C stands for criminal,
Right.
NCIC.
Right.
We are state and local law enforcement partners. We support police and trust police departments to submit traces when they relate to criminal investigations that they're conducting.
Okay, thank you, and I yield back.